discussing this pattern, exist versus non-exist. So I have created a database and selected that database to use. Created two tables, customer and order tables, and then inserted few records. Since I have already solved, there are few problems that I've already solved using join, but we will see how to solve the same problems using exist versus non-exist also. Okay. First question says that find customer who have placed at least one order. So for this, what will be the logic? The customer who has at least one order. Okay. So if let's suppose if there is a customer who have ordered, so it will definitely be in this order table, right? If any customer ID found in this order table, then we will say it is having the order. Okay, at least one order. It This customer ID can exist multiple times in order table also. Okay, so it can have the multiple order also, one order also. We only want if this customer ID exists in this table, then it is at least one order. Okay, so what we'll do for this, we'll select the customer ID from this table where exist, uh, I'll use the exist, and where exists the customer ID from this customer table is equal to customer ID from this order table. So it will give us it is having at least one order. Okay, let's see and frame our query. Okay, from a customers table. Okay, I have selected the customer ID. Okay, where exists, select if it exists where, in order table, right? Orders table, where customer ID from this customer table that we have already taken. Let's take the alias as C and this alias as a O. Okay, so C dot customer ID is equal to O dot customer ID. It found an orders table. Okay, will return those record only. Cool. So it will return all the customer ID if two exist in other order table. Okay, let's see. Since customer ID is a primary key, so it won't be duplicated value. Okay, cool, very good, we got it. In this using join, we have to use a distinct, because after joining there will be multiple occurrence in order table, so it will result giving the multiple uh, you know uh, customer ID. So that's why I've used distinct, but here distinct is not required. Pretty much good. Now we see is find customer who have never placed an order. Okay, for this what we will do, let's see the logic first. Find customer who have never placed an order. Customer who have never placed an order. Okay, so the customer ID do not exist in this order table. We will assume that it is not it does has not placed any order. Okay, so we'll just, what we'll do, we'll select the customer ID from this customers table, and then where not exist we will use now. Where not exist, uh, uh, customer ID from this order table, where customer ID of customers table is equal to customer ID of this order table. Okay, where not exist these record, like we are eliminating the record which is we are eliminating the customer ID who are matching with this table. Okay, it's like the opposite logic we have applied in our previous query. Okay, so now let's frame a query. We have never placed an order, so what we'll do, we'll select this customer table where not exists. What not exists? they're not exist, we'll select all those rows where this one from, right? So yeah, we will be ignoring all the rows who exist in an order table. So it will give us the resultant customer ID who do not exist in the other table. Yeah, pretty much it. Now let's solve it. Okay, 3 and 5 are the customer IDs. Cool. If we want the customer name also, we can select this customer name also. Okay, here we go. We'll just add the customer name. Okay, cool. It has given us the name also. Yeah, pretty much it. Now the third question says this. We have already solved with this join. See it, and now we'll be solving using this exist versus non-exist. Okay, find orders whose customer does not exist. Find orders whose customer does not exist. So what they are saying, the corresponding customer ID do not found in this customer table is the customers whose orders whose customer do not exist. Like we have deleted it from this customer table. Okay, so what we will do here, we will be selecting all the order ID from this orders table where the customer ID do not exist in this. We'll use not exist here also. Okay, we will be ignoring all the customer ID who exist in customer's order. So it will give us the customer who do not exist as a resultant. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll select this order ID from this order column where not exist. uh, Customer ID of this order table is equal to customer ID of this customer table. Okay, let's frame a query. So from this orders table, where not exists. Okay, what not exist, select from customers table where customer ID का customer ID and orders ID का customer ID also both is equal. Now we will be ignoring these rows. Okay, so here we can say orders, wait, order ID. Yeah, it will give us answer pretty much it. So 106 is the order whose corresponding customer ID do not exist. Actually, it was not having any values who do not exist in this customer table. I have inserted this one more entry so that it uh, give us some output. So here it is having the customer ID 6, which obviously do not exist in this customer table. So that's why it has given us this answer. Cool. Let's go ahead and solve the next problem. It is find customer having an order greater than 6,000. Okay, customer having order greater than, customer having order greater than 6,000. So what we'll do here, amount corresponding customer having order greater than 6,000. Okay, so corresponding amount if greater than 6,000, we will take that customer ID. Okay, so what we'll do, where exist. Okay, will select the, if we want the customer name, then only this table is required, otherwise this table is not required at all. Okay, but if we do need this customer name, so what we'll do, we'll select all the customer ID and customer name where exists all the customer ID from this, where exists customer ID from this auto table, where customer ID of customers table is equal to customer ID of the order table, where amount is greater than 6,000. It will give us our result. Okay. Okay, let's solve this question. Okay. What we have decided that from customers table we will select what, okay, where exists where exists we will be selecting all from order table. We will be selecting those customers whose is there in this order table also. Now where, here the condition is where order ka amount is greater than 6,000. Okay, we'll be selecting these rows only, and here customer ID and then customer name. What is the issue here? Okay, okay, two times where, yeah, we got it, one and two. Should we print the amount also? It will print the amount also. Actually, it won't in this case. We have to, let's see. Yeah, I told you it won't, because we are printing all the rows from this customer table only. Okay, let it be. If we would have selected um from this order table, then okay, we'll be solving the next question. Find customer who ordered more than once. Customers who ordered more than once. Okay, so like this customer ID exists multiple times in this order table. I'll be solving this. So if this ID exists multiple times in this orders table, right? So for this, the possibility is this, that we'll be selecting the customer ID where exists those rows where customer ID of this customer table and then customer ID of this order table is equal, and what else, we'll do the group by, right? Group by this customer ID and having count of star corresponding row is greater than 1, then we will take those rows. Okay, cool. Now let's frame our query. So from customers table I have selected those rows where exists all the rows from all order table. Okay, orders O, where, so where C का customer ID, yeah, correct, and order table का customer ID is equal. Apart from this, what we will group by this customer ID. Okay. if this customer ID having corresponding rows greater than 1, then we will select only those rows, right? So yeah, we can select all the rows from this customer table or specific columns, whatever we want. Customer ID. Okay, okay. Now I need to give the return some customer ID also. Select the customer ID actually. C dot customer ID. Company DB dot customer do not exist. Okay, I will use this customers. Hey, we got it. This one who have ordered more than once. Actually, this was this problem only. Customers one has ka problem, so that's why it was not showing. Yeah, I have selected the whole row also. Yeah, we have solved all the question using the exist versus non-exist. Yeah, thank you.